Good morning. Welcome to Unity Longmont Spiritual Center on October 18th, 2020. This morning, I will be doing the speaking and leading the meditation, and we are so blessed to have Teresa Storch for music. So we will begin with a piece of music.
Okay. I read that the theme was healing from during this pandemic, and I know the hardest part is not being with people we love, and this is sort of it's actually a love song, but it's about missing someone you love, so I thought that could be good. There were words in your glance, but on my back I felt your hands, and there was intention I had not known, but I will find you before I go home. And there was a frost that was out on the lawn. There was goose flesh that was on my arms as I was outside, but you were warm, and I will find you before I go home. When I was lost, but now you're found, and I may be far, but not for long. And there may be mountains, and I will climb, and just keep in mind I may run, I may hide, and it just might take me some time. And I am water, and you are stone, and I will find you. Yes, I will find you. I will find you before I go home.
Beautiful, Teresa. Thank you. It's at this time that we go into prayer together by taking a breath together. Beloved presence, we know you are within us and around us and in all things, and that you're able to see what's in our heart and what's in our mind, able to interact with our souls. And this morning we are prayerful, especially about the fires that are so close to us and the people that have been so deeply impacted by them. We thank you for this glorious rain this morning and pray that it and other remedies can continue. We pray for all the people on earth who suffer because of this pandemic, and we pray for healing for each and every one of us. We pray for wisdom, faith, love, and hope. And as they arrive within us, we are grateful. And so it is. And we'll have another piece of music.
Okay. I think I am going to play this one. This is the other thought about the pandemic is how hard it's been on all of our mental healths. So this is my song called Sympathy. Those who struggle with that. Opulent endings, faith-filled beginnings, never were your style. Not since the voices have cut you to pieces. You can't trust your own mind. As kids we were different. I was the shy one, you that outspoken clown. Today I go boldly across this country, and you're afraid to drive downtown. Keep your things in order. You're in control at last. Those ghosts from your childhood that you never could get past. I can feel what you're sending from miles away. My heart here is aching in misery. I can feel what you're sending from miles away. My heart's resonating in sympathy. I thought of you this morning and the years that have passed. My breath caught in my throat. You're here still among the living, so I still have a chance. Before you choose to go, and you keep your things in order, you're in control at last. Those ghosts from your childhood that you never could get past. My heart's resonating in sympathy.
Thank you, Teresa. How tender and compassionate. That's perfect for this pandemic. Thank you. So I've been thinking about this talk for a little while about the need to heal at any time, but especially during this pandemic. And yesterday I began to type out the talk, and I finished typing it this morning, so you'll see a little shift. Healing during the pandemic. The search for the sacred evolves over the course of the individual's lifespan. This is from the book, The Meaning of Spiritual Transformation by Pargament. And I think that's true. I think our spirituality evolves throughout our lifespan. Now, during the pandemic, each day is new, yet so many of the days drain into each other that I find it challenging to assess the march of time in the old way. Some of what determined the march of time for me before the pandemic were meetings with people, family, friends, congregants, clients, strangers. Those interactions occur significantly less now than before for me. Most of my days include time with my pup, time with books and Netflix, and time online with people. Some of my days include an outdoor walk or visit with a person masked and socially distant. Much of my time is spent in reflection. This pandemic has slowed me down enough to allow for more reflection and hopefully more insight. That is appropriate for someone my age. Right now, as I write this, Jamestown has been evacuated because of a new fire. My daughter and her family live in North Boulder, maybe 14 miles away from the fire. So it is hard to concentrate on this talk right now. Recently, I have become increasingly aware that when praying to God, beloved presence, I use the word trust very often. I say it as though it is already established, such as, I trust you, God. I reflected on that word choice and occurrence and started thinking, not just about myself, but others, that if we have difficulty trusting our original caregivers, it might be challenging to trust God. As humans, we often anthropomorphize God, especially when we are young. We attribute our parents' characteristics to God. If we have a loving parent when young, it is easier to see God as loving. If we have a distant parent, we may perceive God as distant rather than within and always available. If we have a critical parent, we may view God as judgmental. A core part of my graduate degree was based on the assumption that humans go through different and predictable stages of development, just as we go through physical stages. Babies learn to lift their heads, they learn to roll over, to sit up, to crawl, and then to walk. We go through psychological and spiritual stages. So I pulled Erik Erikson's 8 stages of development and would like to share that with you right now. The beauty of this model is that it is clear what each person is confronted with in terms of a personal challenge at each age. And it is clear that if they negotiate that period of time well, they will develop a virtue. So the one I'm going to especially focus on today is the first one, from infant to 18 months. And the crisis or task is to develop trust, or mistrust. And when you negotiate well through that stage, you develop hope. This model also suggests that if you don't navigate it totally well, it's going to impact the adjustment of each other social development stage. What is beautiful about it and beautiful about life is that if we don't navigate totally well through any stage, life gives us an opportunity to address it again at some point in our life. And that leads to healing. That leads to transformation. So again, the first stage goes from birth to 18 months, and most of us have no memories from that time. What I do have are family stories, and I can speculate what my earliest life might have been like. Of course, that speculation is colored by the years I do remember. My mother was 16 when she married my 20-year-old father. She had me when she was 18, so very young. When I was less than a year old, my father was sent to Korea. My mom and I lived with his parents. There was always a tension between my mom and paternal grandmother, which seemed like a competition to see who was most important to my father. Because of that, I don't know how happy everybody was to live together. Before my father left, my mom got pregnant with my sister. During that pregnancy, mom fell in the shower, hit her head, and was concussed. My maternal grandmother always said that mom was not the same after that. That may be true. What I do know is that mom's paranoid schizophrenia began to manifest strongly about 9 years later. I doubt there is any connection to the fall, but there may have been an expectation that she was somehow damaged. A neurologist suggested the schizophrenia came from her lupus, which was diagnosed when she was only 25. Anyway, a month before my sister was born, my mother's father was killed in a hit and run in DC. I was 17 months old. When my sister Denise was born a month later, they discovered she had had a male twin that did not survive. Clearly, those were hard times for my mom. I don't know how available she was to me or to my sister at that time. It was not uncommon for mothers to prop a bottle up with a baby in the crib at that time. It was not as well understood as now how important touch and eye contact is to the development of the brain. When a parent holds a baby and gazes upon the baby's face, both people produce oxytocin, a happy hormone that bonds them and provides security for the baby. I might guess that my young mom would not have been able to provide me with an ideal infancy. The first developmental stage is the most critical and lays a foundation for all other stages to follow. And if it's not resolved, it affects the resolution of the other stages. Since so many of us have been given the chance for a long life, we have the chance to heal from those early losses. I believe those later opportunities lead to transformation and potentially to spiritual transformation. As Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. With that belief, I have been welcoming transformation. If my first year and a half led me to believe that life is not safe, that I cannot fully trust others to take good care of me, so therefore my trust in God is less than warranted, I want to change that. I want to change that. I want to trust God and life wholeheartedly. As Martin Luther King shared, As my sufferings mounted, I soon realized that there were two ways in which I could respond to my situation, either to react with bitterness or seek to transform the suffering into a creative force. I decided to follow the latter course, he said. There are also stages to transformation, which is why the caterpillar to butterfly is often used as a metaphor of transformation. The process can be painful, yet it is wondrous in its outcome and majestic in the growth afforded. Stage one of transformation is things start crumbling. Life or aspects of it get messy. Stage two of transformation is that you want to be alone. You start questioning what has made you and who you are, and it may be challenging to be around a lot of people. Stage three of transformation, you feel lost or confused about everything. Transformation can refigure our thinking and our intuition, which can lead to more confusion. Stage four of transformation, a particular life lesson seems to confront you. A particular life lesson seems to confront you. And stage five of transformation, rebirth and renewal. Spiritual transformation constitutes a change in our meaning system that we hold as a basis for self-definition, how we interpret life, and our overarching purpose and our ultimate concerns. Spiritual transformation impacts every aspect of ourselves. So, as I continue to write this, I am following Boulder Office of Emergency Management on Facebook, and the evacuation map is growing closer to my daughter's home. How, in this moment, does my original navigation of the first developmental stage show up? A positive resolution of stage one leads to trust and the virtue of hope. Do I have hope for those impacted by the fire? Yes, especially because the professionals are good at what they do. And even though fires change very fast, the information available is updated regularly. Because of the internet, we know so much more now than we did in the past. A failure to navigate the first stage of development leads to mistrust and insecurity. I don't feel like I am directly threatened by the fire, but I fear my loved ones are. What am I mistrusting? Do I trust them to be safe to evacuate if they need to? Yes. They may be packing now. Do I trust roads will be clear? Not necessarily. The point of evacuation right now is Broadway and Iris, 2 blocks from my daughter's house. Do I trust God? I want to. I want to trust God. I want to rest into beloved presence. But what I really keep trying to rest into is my logic and intellect. That's not the same. What does it feel like to rest into God? Inner peace? I have a tiny dollop of that surrounded by a bunch of worry. Right now, the world feels unpredictable to me. I am anxious for my loved ones. Do those perceptions and feelings indicate inadequate resolution of stage one or reality? I think the answer might lie in what my initial response is to unexpected change. It is often anxiety, and I have developed many skills to work with that. Yet it is important to acknowledge it and wonder, how was it established? What if my initial response could be one of hope? I would love that. Failure in stage one leads to the development of fear, mistrust, suspicion, anxiety, and a belief that the world is unpredictable. We may become anxious, believing we have no control or influence on our environment. A good balance between trust and mistrust means we remain open to experience and yet aware of the potential for danger. After all, it is unlikely and ill-advised for a child to become entirely trusting or lacking in trust, so there has to be a balance. Success within stage 1 leads to the virtue of hope, the sense that whatever crises we meet, there will be someone around to provide support and help. So going back to the stages of transformation, my life is not crumbling, although much of the world seems to be. And I do not mind being alone so much right now. That feels peaceful. I do not feel lost and confused about everything, just some things. Not lost. I am confronting a particular life lesson right now, that of responding to events, unexpected change, with anxiety rather than faith. So potentially I can hope and trust that I will transform if I continue this work. So I'd like to read something from the Gospel According to Zen, which I have held close to me since the 1970. Once upon a time, I, Chung Tu, dreamt I was a butterfly, fluttering hither and thither, to all intents and purposes, a butterfly. I was conscious only of following my fancies as a butterfly, and I was unconscious of my individuality as a man. Suddenly I awoke, and there I lay, myself again. Now I do not know whether I was then a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming I am a man. So this morning, I got up and finished my talk. I am finishing this in the morning of 10/18. I am grateful to have been able to sleep and to unpack the things I would have needed for evacuation. Some of the camwood fire has been tamped down, that part that was growing directly toward us. Last night as I packed, I felt a shift within myself. I felt anxiety leave as I recognized how much trust I had in my daughter and her family, trust for them to take whatever steps they needed to be safe. I felt trust in myself to do the same. I felt trust in the many people working on the fire, ensuring as much safety as possible. I felt trust in the ways we have of communicating in real time. I felt trust in God to be there, to be here, and I experienced hope. And I know sometime down the road, I will encounter the next available time for me to heal, transform, and grow. It is a spiral, and I am up for the road. So it is. So I'd like to invite us to take a deep breath, be comfortable in our bodies and aware of our bodies and our breath, aware of our mind and our hearts, and simply aware as we take a couple of breaths together. And if you are willing, I invite you to imagine holding an infant in your arms and acknowledging and knowing that this infant represents you as an infant. This infant is something you carry around within you. And take a moment to feel the weight of this infant in your arms and the warmth that is shared between the two of you. And notice how you begin to breathe together, this infant with its tiny lungs and you with yours. and be aware of any sweet smells, the sweet smells of babies, and aware of the soft skin of your baby self. And in your mind's eye, allow yourself to gaze at this beautiful face, the sweet and innocent face. And allow there to be a deep interaction, a deep love between you as an adult and you as an infant. And take a moment to experience this as fully as you can. And when you are ready, allow your infant self to be integrated into your adult self, to be safe and secure and hopeful. I'd like to read a poem called Breathe as you continue to sit with your eyes closed and breathing. Fear and all the hurts of our past leap up to haunt us. Sharp, crooked angles of fear supplant today in the mind's eye peace. Peace, your maker loves you well, and nothing ever gets injured except your sometimes pride. Yet it is not you. You are not the leaving. You are the coming in joy. You are not the hurting. You are the comforting kiss. And you are not the fear. You are the song. And you are not the victim. You are victory loud and long and clear. So rise up and sing your happy child song in the garden. And so it is. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes, continuing to breathe peacefully. And we will move on to another piece of music by Teresa Storch. Thank you.
I'm lonely and I'm tired and I'm giving up the fight in my head, and I'm grounded and I'm surrounded by the beauty I know I'll forget. So please this time, oh God, this time, oh, oh, this time, please let me remember it. I'm lonely and I'm happy and I'm getting all that life has to give. Oh, oops, I'm letting go of things I regret. And I'm simple, and I'm single, yet I'm getting all that life has to give. So please this time, oh God, this time, oh, oh, this time, please let me remember it. Now I'm driving through a valley with the Mississippi. It's shining like glass. And I watch a baby spider spin his home between my window and my dash. And Jeff Buckley is on the radio and showing me the way out of the past. Now I see you, and you're smiling, and now you listen to the words that I say. And I'm happy, 'cause I am surrounded by the beauty that is everything. So please this time, oh God, this time, oh God, this time, oh, this time, and oh, this time, please let me remember it.
Let us all remember. Thank you, Teresa. It's at this time that we go into our donation of love and light by again taking a breath together and placing our hands on our heart and accessing that light, that love within us, and allowing it to expand beyond our bodies, beyond our home, beyond our city, our state and country, and allow that light and love to be shared with all who need it, all who benefit from it, including ourselves. And we are to remember that this can be done at any time, anywhere, to share this divine light and love. And so it is. And we will finish with a piece of music.
I thought we needed some Happy Girl, because we always need Happy Girl. sometimes I get sad, I am a happy girl. I have an open heart, I have an open heart. Though sometimes I feel bad, I have an open heart. And I love this world, even when it hurts. I am a happy girl, I am a happy girl. I have a peaceful soul, I have a peaceful soul. Though sometimes I get mad, I have a peaceful soul. I have a quiet mind, I have a quiet mind. Though sometimes I react, I have a quiet mind. And I love this world, even when it hurts. I am a happy girl, I am a happy girl. And I love this world, even when it hurts. I am a happy girl, I am a happy girl, I am a happy girl. Though sometimes I get sad, I am a happy girl.